And we're here at Martinsville for race 6 of the NAPA Sim Truck Series season, and we head to one of the baddest tracks on the schedule in the NAPA Sim Series, Martinsville. Destruction, carnage, just utter stupidity is the normal here at this racetrack. So many things go down every single time we come here, and with all of these rookies today heading to Martinsville for their first time, I expect no different. We have another rookie on the pole. It's Blade in the 56. This Syria Motorsports team has been unbelievable in qualifying. Juan has won a lot of poles, and now Blade gets his chance to lead the field to green with Blitz on his outside. And guys, well, just as I said, we head to Martinsville. I am joined by Chris and Mac here in the booth like always. We had the Martinsville here for the Truck Series. What do we think is going to happen today?
Well, we saw here last season when the trucks went here to Martinsville, we saw less than 20 cars finish the race. So that is a interesting note to mention. And well, this place we have seen mainly in Cup of how it is always an absolute barn burner of a race. I don't expect that to change much. It never changes pretty much throughout what series you do. We're going to be able to see how these guys handle the absolute chaos and hellfire this track is going to bring.
And to add on to that, last week when we did the truck series, we raced at another short track. We raced at Colorado, which that track is kind of like a Richmond, like an Iowa, where you sort of go off throttle midway through the corner, and you go a little bit fast, trying to carry speed off the corner. But in this racetrack, it's smaller, and also you do a lot of braking here. We see in NASCAR in real life how they get very physical and they move drivers out of the way because it's a one roof racetrack. And to sort of quote what Denny Hamlin said in his podcast, like, this is the closest track to a road course if you're racing on an oval, because both ends of the racetrack, you're always braking, always off throttle. So I think we're going to see some physicality here, and you might see some action, and we'll see how aggressive you guys are.
3 races here this weekend in Martinsville. All 3 of our series head here today, and all 3 races I expect to be a lot of damaged cars and trucks, especially on this back straightaway where we always see most of the chaos from previous seasons. But now with the new generation of car across all 3 series, maybe the race will be a bit different. Who knows? We will find out. Let's go over the starting grid. In row 1, leading the field to green will be Blade in the 56, a rookie in the series. Next to Blitz in the 52. And back to row 2, we have Chase and Butler. Row 3, Casernia and Lyon. In row 4, 2 great qualifying efforts for Twan Hamilton and Riku Sato. Row 5, Supra and Ty making a kind of rarer bushwhacking start. And in row 6, Luke and Brandon Del Pino.
All right, then in row 7 after behind them is going to be Matt and Timmy. Following them in row 8 is going to be Jimmer Fredette and Mac, pair of Sunbelt cars in this row. Then we go to row 9 with Gino Kep and NYC. And rounding out our top 20 is going to be Dakota Littleberry and Conroy Rosario. Then after behind them in row 11 is going to be Nacho and Ultra. And then following them in row 12 is going to be Lab Nuke and Misty.
Behind them in row 13, we have Chris starting next to 88 of PD. And then behind them, we have Juan, shocking qualifying effort for him, starting next to the 97 of Landon Ware. And then behind them, we have the 51 of AC. And next to him, we have Bella. And then we have the 20 of Elaine, starting next to the 48 of Raptor, rookie in the field. And rounding out our field, we have Saucy Sausage, starting next to Fortnite is T-Fun.
2 D&Qs, Whiskers, and Nathan Scott were not able to make today's race. And yes, as pointed out in qualifying, deep in the field for Juan, he is our points leader. Let's see if he can climb through the field today. We're ready to go. It's going to be a good race today. You see right there, 115 laps in Martinsville. We're ready to go. Let's fire up the engines here and get this race started.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines have been fired. We're ready to beat and bang in Martinsville. Let's go green. We're ready to go in Martinsville. The green flag is going to come up really fast. All these guys got to be ready to go. Off turn 4. We're ready to go at Martinsville. One of the scarier tracks on the NAPA Sim schedule. Blade and Boca Blitz lead the field to green. We're underway.
Look at Blade, great start there. Immediately clears that 52 a Boca Blitz. And Chase looking to now clear that 52 as well. It's going to be pretty easy to do so. Pretty much a one-groove racetrack. So let's see. Yep, Chase is going to clear. Casernia now through. Next, more than likely.
Not a good start for Boca Blitz. Boca Blitz started on the front row, about to lose 3 positions since lap 1. Lost a spot there to the 33 truck of Casernia, and about to lose another one to Twan Hamilton. That 52 truck fast all season long so far, but losing time so far at the start.
Yeah, this 52 team in trucks have been unbelievable to start the season. Now Boca Blitz gets his chance to get another win. Has one career win across NAPA Series. And now he is in one of his better opportunities here to get another one. But yeah, that high side does not work here. You can sometimes, when the tires begin to wear, you can get a runoff exit. But early on in the race, when the tires are fresh, you're not going to go anywhere. And that was able to come to the benefit of Chase, Casernia, Twan Hamilton. They move up into 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But Boca Blitz will slot into P5. Supra right behind him. And we got some more rookies rounding out the top 10. Lion Butler and Timmy, who has now been passed by Ty for P10.
Yeah, that 53 machine is the teammate to the 52, and you saw there in the background just getting by to the 10th position, but Supra looking a bit racy, goes to the inside there of the 52, could not quite get the exit though that he was looking for as he looked through the field. Chris making the move there, so is Juan, but that 52 truck is continuing to fall. Supra got there to the inside.
Yeah, and we're going to be looking at this 59 here early in this race. You also see Mac fall back. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are or how good your truck is. If you're on the high side, it's going to be really hard to fight back. Juan's moving forward early. Teammate Brandon Del Pino, who has had an atrocious start to the season, is not moving forward. Nacho now to the bottom of Mac, but when you're on that high side, you are literally just a sitting duck. Big diving on Timmy will get under Butler and maybe under Ty as well, but Blade setting the pace early. But when the tires begin to slightly wear, we'll see if he still has that race pace that he has right now early on. But for now, holding off 2 veterans at the front of the field.
Yeah, Supra continues to move forward in that 18 machine. He gets by the 52 easily and gets by Twan Hamilton next. Well, you were talking about Juan there. And the truck behind him as well, the 15 of Luke, is also moving forward, and Casernia is putting on pressure on 2nd place Chase. Last time we were here in Napa, Chase was close to winning in that 04 truck. So was Juan, but they ultimately lost out in the end on the final lap. And Chase wants to get his first win for Apex, but currently under pressure from behind.
Yeah.
While Blake continues to lead.
Here comes Casernia looking for a move down on that inside line, and right away pressuring Blade, and Supra's looking to follow through. Got 2 rookies here in the podium positions, but Casernia looking to take the lead early. Can Blade fight back? It's going to be very hard. I just don't think he'll be able to hold him off. Casernia will get the lap lead.
Yeah, Blade vulnerable there, gets passed for 2nd place, but look behind him. I don't think he's going to hold on for much longer in the long run because Supra is looking fast, and so is the truck behind him. Well, behind Chase, I mean, because Luke got by Twan Hamilton.
Yeah, you also have Timmy moving forward, and something that we didn't really allude to in the pre-race, which I honestly kind of purposely avoided, is lap traffic. And the reason why I avoid it is because cautions are a common theme at this track. That lap traffic is kind of hard to get into a deep rhythm of. But with as many rookies as we have in the field, some guys are going to be struggling. That might become an opportunity. We will see. We're only 13 laps in, but we do have a few slower trucks, like the 97, the 47. Guys that are just trying to make as many races as possible. There they both are, white trucks at the back of the field. That's probably the biggest concern here early on. But right now, everyone's just logging laps. Bokablitz finally will actually be able to make a pass on Twan Hamilton. And I'm also seeing Chris moving up in the 81. He's starting near the rear of the field. He's up into the top 15. And Gino kept, oh, look at that from Riku Sato, the rookie, making a move on our two-time winner this season. He should be able to get that done.
Yeah, that's been the motif the entire season so far for all three series, is that we've had some comers and goers in every single race. It doesn't matter where you start. And for the Apex trucks, as well as Butler in the forefront of Chris, and for Luke, I said him earlier when mentioning Supra, they are going to the front and going to the front quick here. And for Chris, that's not his first time doing this. He did this at Las Vegas as well, so seeing some comers and goers. Mac defends his line into turn one there. Big move for him.
Yeah, Racing Lab Nuke, another veteran who has had a good start to the season, trying to make a move on AC in the 51. That's Lev right behind Mac in the 9. And Nacho gets underneath one in the 59, just struggling to get kind of an early grip on his truck. Just hasn't really moved forward. He moved forward in the first few laps, but ever since he started to settle in, he's actually lost spots. Now he's fallen back to 23rd. Still a gain from where he started, but definitely not where he wants to be at this point. But gets back under Nacho. Nacho looks like he's dealing with a tight race truck. Juan will take that spot back. And Mac under AC here for this is going to be P, looks like 19. Yep, P19 on track.
And even though this is early going for Juan, as you mentioned him, like, he's currently the points leader, and he's had some amazing races. He's had a bunch of poles in this season, but he's also going to have to expect races like this that are not going to be as, say, easy as maybe the other weeks were, where he doesn't have quite as fast of a truck compared to these guys, because Cesarnia, since he passed Blade, has been pulling away, and Blade was under pressure from Supra, but since that early going, Supra has lost a bit of pace.
And I actually think it has been more of a relatively tough start to Cesarnia's season. He's been caught up in a few wrecks and just not had the full-on race pace to be a contender for wins. He's been a good contender for top 5s and top 10s, but it's just never been the truck to beat, or even just a truck that can make a move for the win. But right now, had a good qualifying effort. He is setting the tone here early, and with two rookies in second and third, that does give him a slight buffer ahead of the more slightly experienced guys, but running away right now and is just setting a good pace. Now is a second on Blade and is going to try and keep increasing that.
And what you said earlier about lap traffic, the previous lap I saw a white truck in turn 1 ahead of Cesarnia, and we haven't had a caution yet. And I did notice as well in the pre-race you did not mention lap traffic, and this is a small racetrack, just like last week at Colorado, just like next week at Bristol. If we go caution free, we will expect some lap traffic here, especially because the top two have set the pace. They are gone.
Yeah, these two are setting a way better pace. At Supra, he might be holding up those guys. And I think Twan Hamilton might be holding up 8th on back. He runs 7th. Ty there, Butler, Timmy into the top 10. I'm just seeing just a little bit of a gap behind him. Matt is making progress. He was fastest in practice. Kind of just came out of nowhere. Had a decent qualifying effort. He's gotten by Gino Kep. He's gotten by Chris. And is now making a move on Jimmer Fredette here in the 55. This truck is coming alive here early and is trying to maybe have a chance to maybe battle for a top 10 here if things go his way. This truck is obviously fast and is able to make some moves here. Will now be able to slot back in line in front of the 55. And the 14 will maybe be able to cover. He got tight there off exit Riku Sato. Matt looking for another position in the 22. He drives it in. And what a sequence this has been for the 22 team. Oh, maybe gives the bumper to Lion. Matt is moving forward here. Does not want to wait. And Matt is all of a sudden right in the clutches of a top 10. That's Timmy right ahead of him. What a last few laps here for the rookie, Matt.
Yeah, his truck is starting to come alive in this longer run. We've run 29, now 30 laps into this race, and some of these guys, I said it in pre-race, you're going to be braking a lot, you're going to be off the throttle a lot. And I think the handling is starting to go away from some of these trucks, while the 22 is maybe starting to come alive in that longer run, maybe able to preserve those tires just a little bit better, as Rikusawa goes to the inside there of the 50 truck and clears him easily into turn 1, and here comes Gino Cap.
I mean, you could just see that despite 30 laps into this race, we have still not been able to see a guy really defend on the outside. Lions falling, and Gino Cap drives it in on Rikusawa, and Gino Cap's now trying to move forward. I mean, it is go time for these drivers mid-pack, because even though let's give the possibility that I don't think these guys would ever be a threat in that traffic with how many laps are in this race, they are definitely in a threat of just possibly getting in trouble. The danger zone at Martinsville is always mid-pack to the back of the pack. And I mean, back here, one driver just slightly makes a mistake. You saw the bumper Matt gave to Lion. What if Lion tried to defend and got turned sideways? That could easily have sparked a big crash. And right now, early in this race, these drivers have been able to get away with it, but it could easily become a problem later in this race, as now Lion under Mac, who's just not been able to move forward as well as he usually does, just seems to be struggling to find a good handle, and it doesn't help that he also did not have track position to start this race.
And another shocker for me that I just saw there is Labnuke. Last week, he was competing for the win at Colorado, and him and Juan and Mac, they were all fighting for the win last week, and this week they were just not able to find the speed, as both of them are stuck behind Lion. Chris trying to pressure Labnuke. But yeah, just not what they were expecting this week for sure.
Yeah, through the field here, I mean, you can see how everyone's as glued to the bottom as possible, trying to make moves. We have still not seen that traffic yet. There's the 47, and there's the gap to that traffic. This could present a problem to both Cezernia and Blade if they struggle to get by this 47. Blade actually running back down the 33. The gap was over a second. Now it's under close to a half a second, while third place Super 1.7 seconds back. And while we've been looking at this mid-pack, and we still are, I want to point out Bogablitz has actually gotten all the way back up to P4. So he is making progress.
Yeah, Boca Blitz lost places on the start. We said that early on, but now he's up to 4th. Without pressure Supra for 3rd place here.
He already got him.
Yeah, he passed him out of turn 2. What a move by him. Might even be catching up to the 52. The 56 of Blade in a couple laps. And Chase also gets by Supra.
Yeah, Chase moves up into P4. I'm guessing the last lap, Bokablitz got under the 18, and the 04 just followed because the high sides did not come in at all. Let's see if Luke can maybe even make a charge. Now it looks like Super will be able to blend in the P5, but that's how you make passes here. You just get under a guy, and if they're on the ice side, it's so hard to defend. You just can't get the power off exit. There's no grip up there. And everyone's just fighting. They do not want to end up on the top side. Everyone's so glued to the bottom, and that's why we've seen drivers use the bumper, because they won't move off that bottom lane. So they have to resort to some contact. Oh, Mac actually missed the corner right there. Not sure what happened. Got behind the 14 and just messed up, and Quan Hamilton's now fading. Here comes Matt up into the top 10. He continues to move forward. Timmy has gotten by the 16 as well. So a lot of movement, more mid-pack, but the front of the pack has been pretty calm since we've dropped the green. But mid-pack, it's just a dogfight for every position you can get.
Yeah, meanwhile, while the top 3 have sort of consolidated, you are correct that the mid-pack... Oh, the rewind! Luke to the inside of Chris, to the inside
Oh, no!
Chris goes around, into the wall, into traffic.
Oh, man! Big crash here. Oh, our points leader! Top 2 in points!
One hits the back of Labnuke.
Oh, we're still piling in. Oh, wow.
He is in it as well. Calamity corner as yellow is out.
Cezernia will get back to the line first. But there is damaged trucks. That's why you don't go 3 wide at Martinsville. And Chris has a destroyed truck. He's been involved in I think even the pace trucks had trouble. We have had multiple drivers have tough starts, and Brandon Del Pino. Oh my goodness. This has been the worst luck for him all season. a lot of trucks come down pit road. We caught the beginning of it, but there was a lot going on that we kind of missed. Let's take a look at a replay of our first calamity occurrence here at Martinsville.
So here we go off of turn 2. Lavnuke to the inside of Chris as they're already going 3 wide and hooks Chris into the inside wall. And here comes Wong with nowhere to go. Brandon Delpino nowhere to go as well. And the chaos is not over just yet as the 95 goes up the track. The 5 also gets involved. Calamity Corner and turns 3 and 4 at Martinsville as many good trucks are involved.
Yeah, there was our leader right there. It just seems like when drivers were getting on the curbing, it might be really loose down there. A lot of drivers struggled, but there were technically 2 parts of this wreck. Let's take a look at another replay, this time showing Lavnuke in the 2. So let's start this from the beginning. Chris makes a move on Lion. Lavnuke makes a move on Chris. They end up 3 wide. That's never going to work in Martinsville. They come together. We see Chris go around, but watch Lavnuke airborne at Martinsville off the curbing, and Juan was not expecting that at all. And Raptor comes in, gets loose, and runs into the 59. Airborne at Martinsville for Lavnuke, who is second in points. Lavnuke airborne at Martinsville, collecting many other trucks like Brandon Delpino, Lev, we saw Raptor involved, and our points leader Juan. This will be his first DNF, and just all alone, bad race. His first DNF, just first bad race of the season. We're ready to restart here. Let's get things back underway in Martinsville. Ready to go back green here in Martinsville. Single file restarts here. Don't mind the restart. Things are going to be a little bit interesting. That's just Martinsville in this game. Cezernia, Blade, Boca Blitz, Chase, and Supra. The top 5, we're back underway, and Boca Blitz gets an unreal start. Will he jump instantly to the bottom of Blade? Yes, he will for P2. What a good restart for Boca Blitz, but Blade actually gets a decent run off the top.
Yeah, let's
Oh, my bad, Mac.
You okay, Chris? It's just Cezernia now jumping the lead. Boca Blitz now taking second back there from Blade.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Blade and Cezernia, they were both the best trucks all day long, but that 52 machine mentioned earlier in the day, one of the fastest trucks all season long, starting to find its own rhythm once again as it lost spots early on in lap 1, but on lap 51, it's about contending for the lead here as the 2 4s, the 52 and the 33 going for the lead here.
Yeah, welcome back, Mac, in the commentary booth. Glad to see you here. We are 51 laps into this race, and well, we've had our first caution, and for the ones that keep up with points, Juan is out of this race, our points leader. And second in points, Lavnuke is in the back of the pack with damage. You saw him go airborne in turn 3. That car is damaged along with other trucks. This could heavily shake up the points as Gino kept, though still mid-pack, is actually still with a clean truck and still able to pass trucks. So as long as nothing happens to Gino kept, he might be able to take the regular season points lead already with 2 wins on the season, but not leading the regular season standings. This is big for Gino Cap. Needs to capitalize on this day and get the points.
And don't
lead.
forget Luke. He's actually also 30 back. He's about 29 back of the points lead, and he's P7 right now, and he is behind Gino Cap by just about 5 points. So if Luke significantly beats Gino Cap, there's a chance we could be seeing Luke as our points leader by the end of tonight's race.
Everything has shaken up, and you know, in the Truck Series, I've pointed this out almost every single race, we kind of get that one caution field and we kind of go green, but this is kind of the first real big storyline in terms of chaos this season in the Truck Series, with our top 2 in points getting involved in pretty much the first accidents of the year. I think maybe Lavnuke was in a wreck at Atlanta. That'd be the only race where I could maybe remember him being in a wreck, but Juan has not been in a wreck this season, and Lavnuke's been very consistent. Now those 2 are heavily damaged. One of them no longer in the race. So heavy stuff is on the line here. And just getting the points lead is big no matter where you are in the season, because it gives you momentum. And hey, the regular season, all that rewards points for the playoffs. So you need to be as high up in the stands as you can be. Luke will take P6 from Chase. That's another point, but the crossover. Chase back under Luke and Ty waiting in the wings, and Timmy and Matt, who have been in the top 10 for most of the race, doing a great job.
Yeah, as we see now Chase getting by Luke. Chase bushwhacking, same as the car man behind it that's had to get by the number 15 Ty, one of the best at Martinsville. We haven't really seen him up front today. He is doing triple duty, I believe, this weekend, probably for the only time this season, because Martinsville is one of his best tracks and one of his favorite tracks personally. We talked to Ty before the race today and asked him, why specifically this race do you want to run triple duty? And he said that, I love this track, I love short tracks, I want to try and sweep a weekend here.
And other than Martinsville, we see Ty usually appear for bushwhacking starts at Charlotte or the Charlotte Roval, but Ty is usually a guy to run the Cup Series, and that's about it. But triple duty is a big thing for Ty. He doesn't do it very much, so it's going to be a load on him. He's in P7 in a good truck, doing well, and his teammate keeping up with Cezernia. That's Vocal Blitz in the 52, having a good race so far after falling back early. He is climbed back up. That 52 truck is always dangerous. And now as we look, there's the back of the field. We got a lot of damaged trucks now. Here's the thing I want to point out real quick in Martinsville. Here's Cezernia. We're at a short track in Martinsville. It is not hard to make minimum speed because it's a short track. Lap times are very even, but these are some damaged trucks. Chris, Brandon, 11, Lab Nuke up the road. We got some damaged trucks in this field, and if Cezernia doesn't stop playing games, Vocal Blitz is going to be right there, but these trucks, as long as we don't get a string of cautions, could get caught multiple times. Look at the difference of speed down the front stretch and the back stretch. This is going to be a real story throughout the rest of the race because we haven't seen lap traffic really at all today, and this could cause a lot of passing as we got a lot of slower trucks in the way.
And to your point, Cezernia got stuck behind Chris in turn 1 on that previous lap, and it allowed that 52 truck of Vocal Blitz to catch right back up to him, and behind the two Fords, Blade, Supra, and look at the 4 of Butler. Butler having a good day. Riku Sato in 10th place also doing good. Well, I want to mention him as well, but to your point about these damaged trucks, it's not hard to make minimum speed, but when you have damage, you're going so much slower, especially in these braking points. And that's going to stack up these two. Supra stuck behind Blade.
Chris is playing defense for his teammate, I think.
And here comes Chase as well on Supra.
And that's not working. Chris is trying to maybe play defense for his teammates, but it didn't really work. Blade goes by. Supra nearly got past. Chase will go by Butler for P5, but at Martinsville, what every single spotter, what every single driver coach tells you is no matter what, stay on the bottom. Never give up the bottom, no matter how slow you are, no matter how fast you are, no matter what. Never give up the bottom. And well, we're seeing that. These guys are trying to hold the bottom, trying to log laps at this point. Any point matters. Every position matters. Oh, Timmy tries to give the bumper to Luke. That didn't work. I mean, these guys are going to get aggressive. Here comes Ty under Chris. Oh, man, running him wide. Like, get out of the way. And all of a sudden, you look at the ticker. 33 seconds back. These lap trucks are causing a pain to these rookies that have not had to deal with passing lap traffic like this yet in their career.
Yeah, the wave is not over.
Yeah, definitely not over as a lot of these guys have not faced lap traffic this season. Ooh, Riku Sato trying to get by Chris, but he's pinned now as there's Matt going under for P10, Jimmer Fredette, Gino Kep, and Mac in the wings most likely. And these guys, a lot have never really dealt with lap traffic before, so this is their first experience with it here at Martinsville, and it looks like some rookies have a problem with it, such as this number 14 of Riku Sato. He's going to bleed positions behind this 81 machine of Chris.
Running the top 15 all day has Riku Sato, but that's been erased by that 81 truck of Chris. And like I said earlier, that the wave of lap traffic is not over because Brandon and Lev were also in that wreck that involved our top 2 in points. Lev is holding up that 15 truck of Luke, and the 95 of Nachos being held up as well by Brandon.
There is a lot of chaos here. Cezernia's gotten by Lab Nuke, put a little bit of a gap on Vocal Blitz. But I think when things could really get bad, if we get to this point, is when we catch these type of trucks. Lion, ACPD, who's having an off day, Saucy, who are on the lead lap, on speed. But if they eventually get lapped, they are going to be also trying to pass slower trucks like Chris who are damaged. So then there's going to be slower trucks trying to pass even slower trucks, and then you got the fastest trucks that have to manage all of that. So that could get very interesting if we get to that point in this race here, but it's Martinsville. Anything can happen, but off day for Petey, running 23rd, just has not had the speed to it.
Yeah, and, well, he's had some of these off days before, but we're going to be able to see maybe he salvages something out of it. But in the meanwhile, Cezernia has pulled almost 2 seconds of Boca, but Cezernia, I mean, he was not really regarded as a short track guy in the first season of this series. He was mainly good on the road courses. I don't think he even had a single top 10 at the short track last year. Actually, he got 10th at Bristol in season 1 of trucks, but other than that, he was not relatively a speedy truck on the short tracks. So to see him dominating like he has today is surprising quite a bit.
And what did you say earlier, Dylan, about lap traffic? Well, they've caught the back end of the lap traffic that either have minor damage or don't have any damage and are just slow and off the pace. Because I just saw Bella and I just saw the 48 of Raptor as well. Cezernia caught up to Raptor. Raptor was involved in that crash. I think Bella was as well. Might have minor damage there on that truck, but Cezernia, the wave of lap traffic is not over just yet, and ahead of these two are going to be the slower trucks that maybe don't have damage but are off the pace. There's the 5 getting by Chris, so is the 51. Slower trucks off the pace, Lion as well getting by Chris. But Cezernia trying his best now to get by Raptor.
Oh my goodness, look at the gap. It's down to 0.8. Raptor has a bit of damage, but this is probably a truck that's more on pace, similar to Bella. And Raptor is giving him a fit because he knows, I gotta say on this lead lap, look at the driving by Boca.
Look at the 52!
Cezernia struggling to get by the 48 in about time. He's gotten to the inside of the 48. Boca Blitz closed 2 seconds practically in like 5 laps. And right to the bottom of the 48. Boca Blitz not gonna let this go. This 52 truck is on rails all season. I mean, I think their worst run was literally last week at Colorado, where they still came up with the top 10. So this 52 team is unbelievable, and now Boca Blitz is the one that's been tabbed in the drive and is trying to run down Cezernia, and Cezernia has finally gone by these two slightly faster trucks, but now Boca Blitz is right up on his tail, and Boca Blitz has come alive here in the second half of the race, trying to make a move. He is there on Cezernia, and there's Chris again, and we're catching more of the lap traffic. There's Brandon, he's already a lap down. Lev is a lap down, and other drivers in trouble here.
Yeah, Boca Blitz, you would think he'd be dominating, especially with such a good truck, having the experience advantage, and although he's more of a short track guy here. In the fall Martinsville race Xfinity ran, Boca Blitz got P3 in that race. Even that Boca Blitz is not generally regarded as a short track guy either. As, yeah, these other lap trucks that are getting through now, Labnuke going through the field, getting passed by Super there. Butler got back up to P5 at some point. But I think might be, unless a caution comes out, might be just down now to Cezernia or Boca Blitz, unless somebody has the pace to run these two down. And Boca Blitz right on that tail of Cezernia.
Wow. He is right there. If you're stuck behind Chris, that's a problem. You got to get to the bottom, drives it in. I feel like Chris was a bit more... Oh, Cezernia actually hit the curb there and got a little bit loose. You can't hit that grass curbing. We saw what happened during that caution when drivers hit that grass curbing. I think Chris was a bit more willing to get out of the way this time, already a lap down, going 2 down. But Boca Blitz is hounding him down. I mean, what do you do after seeing what this truck has been capable of practically all season? How do you hold him off? Well, this is where it comes down to pure talent right here. What do you got here in these final 30 laps here at the short track? And you gotta expect the unexpected here in Martinsville. Anything can happen at any time. Anger is big at this track. These drivers get angry. These drivers are gonna make some moves that might be frowned upon, but that's what Martinsville is. The only thing I will say is, this is the spring Martinsville race. Now, while we are not expected to have a Martinsville playoff race, if this was that race, I guarantee it'd be a lot crazier. Brandon actually tried to hold the bottom, saw that the leader was there, kind of gets out of the way. Bokoblitz running a slightly higher line, but there's no cars in the way of him, so he will actually be able to get a decent exit from that. And right back under Brandon, and still hunting down Cesarnia as Blade has ran away from that group. He has a second over Chase in 4th, Butler in 5th, and Super has faded back to 6th. And Blade now has to deal with left traffic that he has pretty much never seen before.
Yeah, yep, you see your Cesarnia. I think Bokoblitz is just the better truck at that traffic, but we're gonna get an open stretch now. Cesarnia might start pulling some tie back on this 52, but I think Bokoblitz is just simply the better truck at that traffic, and that could be big here in the closing laps.
Yeah, Brandon gave him a fit on that previous lap, but regardless, that 52 truck, once he cleared Brandon, got by Lev instantly and is already back to the back bumper of Cesarnia. And if you don't look far enough ahead of them, there's another batch of lap traffic. That's Nacho, that's the 51, 15, excuse me, that's the 50 of Lion, that's the 5 as well of Mike Baxter.
Yep.
And those are trucks that are, like I said earlier, they are not damaged, but they are fast enough to give the leaders problems, and the leader is catching up to that pretty quick here.
Yeah, this is all a group of guys that were kind of near that wreck, but most of them were able to get by without really any damage at all. I mean, yeah, this is going to be real tough. And I mean, there's no friends between what Cesarnia and Bokoblitz, the trucks they're coming up to. None of these guys are really teammates at all. So it's just going to be like, everyone's going to be fighting to stay on the lead lap. That's just the main story of it. It is going to be like that the rest of this race. And looks like Chris down pit road. That team might be calling it a day. That truck is heavily damaged. Has been the truck mostly off the pace since the crash. Rough day for the 81 team. They had a good run at Vegas. They just need to regroup, and they can still definitely be a threat to make these playoffs. And I just want to look right now because we pointed out a little bit earlier real quick. I'll make this quick, but Gino Kep is definitely within 5 positions of Luke now. So that regular season points battle early in the season here is going to get a little bit tight here as Butler struggling to get by the 57. Super will take back P5.
And the leaders, on the other hand, they caught up to Nacho, 95. They caught up to Nacho, and they also caught up to some of these other slower trucks here, as you see Butler going to the inside of Bella there, and the 53 going to the inside of Brandon. But the leaders have caught up to the slower group. There's Chase going on Blade there for position.
Yeah, Blade actually held off Chase for P3. Yeah, Cesarnia has caught Nacho, but hasn't really been able to make much progress on him since Random Town because these are trucks that are pretty well on speed. Martinsville is going to be one of the tracks where lap times are super even and super close. There is very, very little discrepancy between the fastest trucks and the kind of mid-tier to slightly slower trucks. So it's going to be a fit for Cesarnia to get by Nacho, and it's probably even going to be a fit for Bokoblitz to get by because Bokoblitz has not really cut the gap down on Cesarnia since catching the 95. But they have such an insurmountable lead on third. They are just worrying about themselves right now. They don't have to worry about any pressure from behind. They're just focusing on getting by these trucks one by one, and for Bokoblitz, also trying to get by the race leader.
But the laps are winding down, Dylan. We're about to reach lap 100. That's going to be 16 laps to go, and if you're the leader and second place Cesarnia and Bokoblitz, it's not really it is a matter of how fast you pass the lap traffic. It's also a matter of, do you want to pass all the trucks in front of you, because risking your truck with this many laps left might not be such a smart idea as well. And then Cesarnia has caught up to Nacho. Like, he is on the back bumper of Nacho, trying to bide his time. Up the track though. He's up the track though, lost a bit of time.
And but Nacho, sorry, finish up real quick.
No, I was just saying, like, Bokoblitz did not gain there either off the exit. As he got held up there by Nacho.
Man. I was going to say, Nacho is a savvy veteran. He has ran this track multiple times before. He knows how to run this racetrack. So he is definitely going to play fits to Cesarnia because Nacho, he's just running the line that he's running the preferred line in Martinsville, and Casernia, he's trying to step out of line, but now that allows Bokoblitz to get a big runoff exit. I just don't know what Casernia could do because he can't even really get to Nacho's back bumper to force him out of the way. This is his best shot here. Oh my goodness, Nacho's
He's
playing
to.
a fit. Now he'll get to his inside. Casernia has led about, what, 85 laps in this race? He passed Blade early in this race. And in pure Martinsville fashion, it's a bit hard to pass. He's been able to hold him off, but look at the traffic ahead of him. This is going to be interesting here in the final 12 laps of this race. Everyone's kind of been calm. These Truck Series drivers have done an amazing job keeping their trucks clean for most of the season. And I mean, just unreal talents that we are seeing coming up here from this level, but just the ability also to keep their trucks clean. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Wow.
Yeah, here we go. Sorry. Bokoblitz to the inside of Casernia. The truck that handles better lap traffic is now in the lead. Bokoblitz takes the lead here, and he's now going to get right to work, try to get right to work on AC. But he might suffer a crossover here. No, Nacho to the inside of Casernia.
Casernia is just struggling. These tires are worn. He just missed the corner. Nacho is gonna throw a huge fit here trying to get by Casernia. I don't know, he might think there's gonna be late caution. You want to be the first car a lap down? You want to get by anyone if you have to pass the 51? I mean, this is unbelievable here. I mean, I've seen Jimmer Fredette enter the top 10 on the ticker. There is so much movement everywhere, but Bokoblitz has passed for the lead, and look at the mess right up ahead of him. He has to deal with most of these trucks. I don't know if he'll have to deal with all of them because we're late in this race, but he'll definitely catch maybe the 51, the 5, the 50, maybe even the 1 before this race is said and done. And Casernia is just trying to get back by Nacho. Last look at the field. Timmy goes by Luke. Jimmer Fredette's jumping under him as well. That is big for who's going to be the regular season points leader.
Got by AC. I said earlier in this run, Bokoblitz definitely has the better truck in lap traffic, and that might come. And I said that was going to potentially come huge come the end of this race, and it has done so because Bokoblitz has maneuvered lap traffic much better than Casernia has. We said Casernia was not a short track guy, and you can definitely tell how he is not a short track guy. His efficiency through the lap traffic is pretty bad, and as a result, it has allowed Bokoblitz to storm to the lead. Look at him now get by Mike Baxter, and Bokoblitz is starting to put up an insurmountable amount of traffic behind him, as now Casernia got re-passed by Nacho, and yes, now he's going to get by Lion too while we're at it.
Yeah.
Bokoblitz is just pulling away now from the 33 of Casernia. Casernia thought he could maybe have it, had a dominant run most of this race, but it looks like unless a disaster happens, Bokoblitz has this potentially in the bag.
Casernia is just now getting by the 5. That's the first left truck he's been able to pass. We got a few slower trucks like the 2 and the 57, but both of us already cleared him. AC's kind of falling. Oh, Saucy into the wall there. Oh, Lion into the wall.
On the wall in the back.
Yeah, these drivers, their tires are worn. Bokoblitz now going to let Petey in the 88. That's a bit of a shock. Bokoblitz is just cruising away. This SW team has brought insane speed all season long in both trucks Xfinity, but something about this 52 truck is special. No matter who's in it, they are contenders. And Bokoblitz looking to get a feel-good win. AC's just kind of following him by, but he is 1 lap down, and Casernia is just now finally beginning to get by some traffic, but there's 2 to 3 to go. There's no time left. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's created a shield between himself and Casernia. He had, at one point, like 6 trucks, including the damaged one, between himself and Casernia, and I think now it's insurmountable between himself and Casernia as white flag is out this time around for the 52 truck. It's been dominant all race long. Got from 7th place to the lead and never looked back out of turn 4. Welcome to victory lane. Bokoblitz wins at Martinsville.
Bokoblitz gets his 2nd career NAPA Sim Series win. And what a job for Bokoblitz. He definitely deserves this. Had the fastest truck and outran Casernia. We got Blade coming on 3rd, Chase 4th, Super 5th, but we got rookies all over the top 10. Jimmer Fredette's broken into the top 10. Finally something going his way. What an interesting race here we had in Martinsville. Maybe not the chaos that we always see, but still good racing and a lot of lap traffic. Boca Blitz wins. Let's take a look at the finishing results. We are done here at Martinsville after 115 laps. Another truck race where we've kind of just had a few cautions, and then it just comes down to truck performance and driver skill. And well, it's obvious that the veterans always show out, but some of our rookies are doing a little bit better and starting to keep up a bit more. We'll see that in the finishing results. Boca Blitz is earning a Blade top 3. There's our first rookie Blade. They got Chase at 4th, Super Butler P5, P6, 2 more rookies. Ty finished at P7. Then they got Timmy in P8, another rookie. Luke finished at P9, and then Jimmer Fredette top 10, another rookie. Half of the top 10 has rookies in it. So that is really something to build on for these rookies, because even though our veterans have been wiping the floor most of the season, these rookies are starting to find some speed and heading to another short track at Bristol. Don't be surprised if one of them could shock. And then throughout the rest of the order, Gino didn't really have much speed, comes on 11th, right outside the top 10. Matt had great speed, comes on P12. Mac could only recover the 13th after his bad start to the race. And then you got more guys like Riku Sato, Twan Hamilton, who had decent runs. And the last truck on the lead lap was Landon Ware in P20. Great for that team to come in with a clean truck and a lead lap finish. And then we got some of the more drivers that were just not really on pace today. Petey comes in with a P23. Not expected out of that team. I'm not sure what happened. Just an off day. Got other drivers like Nacho and Lion who just didn't have great days. And Bella, 1 lap down, but in P28 with the clean truck. After how many races that team has missed, it is something to build on. And then, as we look at the second half of the field, there aren't really many of them. But of course, the big story is right there. Labnuke won. Labnuke was able to finish the race, but won dead last. This will heavily affect the points. Gino, Kep, and Luke are going to be right on each other for the points lead. It is going to be wild, and we saw a few drivers like Brandon and Chris pull off late in the race for the damages they sustained earlier in the race on lap 45. But that will do it here at Martinsville for the Truck Series. We still got the Xfinity and Cup Series to go. Who knows what to expect from those 2 races. Quicker cars, quicker drivers, which always could lead to more chaos, more aggression. It's going to be wild, but we're done here for the Truck Series. Of course, we were joined by Chris, and Mac joined us a tiny bit later here in the booth. Well, guys, after 115 laps of action, how did we feel about today's race?
Man, well, what a race. Casernia, on a place he usually doesn't dominated, but at the end of the day, experience and the short track prowess prevailed, and Boco Blitz, first bushwhacking win we've seen out of him this season. Maybe he can help this momentum get his Xfinity season together.
And I want to add on to what I said in the pre-race, because in the pre-race, I expected this race to be a bit physical, and it was physical, but there was a bit more strategy involved in terms of getting by lap traffic and getting passes completed at the right times, because if you make a pass, you find yourself sort of vulnerable. And I really like this race a lot. It was very different from what we experienced last week at Colorado, and I very much anticipate the next 2 races this weekend as well.
Yep, 2 more races to round out the weekend. We got another night race for Xfinity. We'll be racing in the daytime for the Cup Series. Longer races, more aggressive drivers. We're just getting started with the calamity of Martinsville weekend. And even though you might have thought, oh, this race didn't really have too much chaos, too much aggression, we did have a car up in the air in turn 3. So Martinsville is still alive and well, and we're just 1 race down. Congratulations to Boca Blitz, finally back in victory lane. I'm sure this is a great win for him, and we'll see if he can get it done as well in the Xfinity Series. But myself, Dylan, joined by Chris and Mac in the booth. That'll be all for today, and we will see you guys for the remainder of Martinsville weekend with the Xfinity Series up next.